Okay, let's talk a little Thursday night football tonight, where the Rams at what are they, 7-6, going to the 49ers at 6-7, both having a realistic chance still to end the division in first place. Both two hot teams right now. 49ers for sure are coming off their most complete game of the season, where they dismantled the Bears, and I think you've got still. Defensively, they came alive. They sacked Caleb Williams last week, I think 7 times in the first half. So even without Nick Bosa, their best pass rusher, they're finding ways to put pressure on the quarterback. Offensively, Purdy, George Kittle, whoever's at running back are absolutely dominant as well. But then you got the Rams, who also offensively are as good as anybody right now, and defensively seem to find ways to come up with key stops. So I think Kyle Shanahan, the fact that he has basically owned the Rams ever since he's been in San Francisco, I'm going to give this one to the 49ers. So moving on to Sunday's games, we've got the Bills that are coming to town and play the Detroit Lions on Sunday. And you've got Josh Allen, who probably along with Saquon Barkley is a favorite to win the league MVP, coming off a game where he had 6 touchdowns, 3 passing, 3 running. And offensively with James Cook, their running game is hitting its stride as well. And then you've got the Lions who, offensively and defensively, they've got everything. Offensively, one of the best, if not the best offensive lines in the game. Quarterback, check. Receivers, check. Running backs, check. Tight ends, check. They've got it all. Defensively, despite no Aiden Hutchinson, no problem, because they're still getting pressure on the quarterbacks, getting key stops and forcing turnovers. So if the Lions are the best team in football, and I think they are, and being a former Lion myself, I'm going to give this one to Detroit. They're at home at Ford Field, and this is essentially where they lock up home field advantage throughout the playoffs. All right, so now we've got the Pittsburgh Steelers at, I believe, 10-3, going on to play the Philadelphia Eagles in an in-state rival game. They're 11-2, and arguably the other best team in the league right now, if they're not the Detroit Lions. So you've got Pittsburgh themselves have won 7 out of their last 8. We've known that the Steelers for the last, half century are one of the top defenses in the league. But now their offense, with the addition of Russell Wilson halfway through the season, now they've come alive. And they can run it whenever they want, throw it whenever they want, and are efficient at doing it. They're scoring points like never before, at least not in the last several years. And then you got Philadelphia Eagles, who, again, one of the best offensive lines in the game, skilled at every position, and probably have the best running back in Saquon Barkley in, I'd say, the last 20 years. And so here again, defensively, they're just as good as their offense. However, last week they gave up only 16 points to the Carolina Panthers, but had it not been for a drop pass at the end of the game by one of the Carolina receivers that would have scored, they would have lost that game. And Carolina would have ended their 8-game winning streak, which is now 9. So I think the Pittsburgh Steelers, with a 2-game lead against Baltimore, or over Baltimore, I think come out on top in this one. All right, and this time of year, now we're in December. We're coming down to the last several weeks of the season, and now you've got games where it's one really good team with probably not as good a record as they could have playing another good team also in that situation. The one I like to talk about here is the Packers going to Seattle. Green Bay has flourished, especially lately, and on both sides of the ball. Jordan Love, Tucker Kraft at tight end, and Josh Jacobs at running back have just done whatever they wanted these last several weeks. They've scored over 30 points a game each of the last 3 weeks. And then I think Seattle has kind of been that little engine that could all season long. Quietly, they are actually sitting atop the NFC West right now. And the dual threat quarterback Geno Smith, the combination of Kenneth Walker III, along with rookie Jacques Charbonnet, have basically not only scored enough points, but they've made timely plays in late situations in games that have resulted in winning football. And we all know Seattle is a tough venue to play because of the 12s that come out and make it difficult for opposing teams. That's why I'm going to take Seattle Seahawks in this one. Okay, let's go back to last Thursday night's Packers-Lions game, where it's becoming obvious now. Whatever the Lions need to do when it comes to making a big play, they do it. And here again, against the Packers, a little early in the game, I think this was the first half, Lions have the ball on about the 2-yard line going in, and they load up the right side, hand the ball to Montgomery, and he just walks in behind a surging offensive line. Late in the game, with the game on the line with about, 40 seconds or so left, they get in the same formation, run the exact same play. It's 4th and inches now, where they could kick the field goal, but by getting the first down, they know they can kick the field goal once time winds down and end it right there, which same formation, same play. They surge ahead for an easy 6 yards. Everybody is shocked by that. Why did they go for it? Well, they went for it because they knew they were going to get it. And again, I think this is, again, signifies why the Lions, in my opinion, are the best team in football right now. We got to address the Bears, right? They go to the 49ers, and everything's supposed to be, bright and new and shiny with Thomas Brown replacing Matt Eberflus. And my apologies to Matt Eberflus, because they were supposed to look better and, in fact, looked somehow worse. At halftime, it was 24-0, but worse than that, it was 319 yards of offense for the 49ers, 4 for the Bears. And they just, in every conceivable way possible, offensively and defensively. Here's a defense with the 49ers, really as a team, that showed up that we've been looking for at least this season. And here the defense sacks, I think, Caleb 7 times in the first half, all with Bosa in street clothes on the sideline. And in that same offense with the 49ers, who really haven't exploded yet this year, do. And then it's, Purdy looks amazing, and Kittle, and the running game, the passing game. And that's all with Christian McCaffrey and Trent Williams not playing. And it was just a matter of time, in my opinion, before this exploded. It just happened to be yesterday. So, my apologies again to Matt Eberflus. We got the Bills coming to LA and playing the Rams in what was an unbelievable game. And most likely, if Josh Allen wins the MVP, this will be, along with the game that he beat the Chiefs, will be the signature game that the league looks back on in evaluating his performance. In that, here's a guy that accounted for 6 touchdowns, 3 on the ground with him running it in. He was also their leading rusher with 82 yards. Then threw 3 touchdown passes. Again, going over about 340 yards of passing yards. No turnovers whatsoever. I know they lost, but it's the team lost. Okay, Josh Allen didn't lose that game, and then you've got the Rams, who all of a sudden, well, not all of a sudden, but over the course of these last month, let's say, have done enough to show me they're for real too, because it really doesn't matter who Josh Allen is throwing to, but clearly the combination between Puka Nacua and Matt Stafford is undeniable. And so, again, a great game. And I think if Josh Allen does win the MVP, this will be a game that really weighs heavy in his favor. Get on to another. Maybe this has come down to 2 potential candidates, this MVP. And my other guy would be Saquon Barkley. So the Carolina Panthers go into Philadelphia, and Saquon Barkley again goes off for, I think, 124 yards on the ground, about 6 yards per carry. And again, he's on pace to break Eric Dickerson's NFL all-time single-season rushing record, which is, going to be over 2,100 yards. And should he get there, because it's such a rare feat, I think, the NFL can't deny that in terms of MVP. And if he does win it, what does that say about the New York Giants decision making in an era where it's, everybody thinks this is a quarterback league, well, and running backs don't matter. Well, clearly this running back does matter. And again, what does that say about offensive lines? And as a unit, the Eagles have clearly one of, if not the best offensive line in football. And Saquon Barkley is a difference maker. I think we can all agree there. And the other guy that I'd like to talk about in this game is Bryce Young, because here's a guy who is fighting for his NFL life. Comes back, not great stats, but I think we can all see that he's making good decisions. He's much more fluid now. He gets the ball out. He evades the rushes, but he still looks downfield to complete passes. And in that last drive, he throws a perfect pass to Xavier. I can't remember what his name is, Leggett, who, if he just catches the ball, there's 40 seconds on the clock. That's probably a touchdown. Well, it's a for sure touchdown and probably wins the game. They lose the game 22-16, but it wasn't because Bryce Young. And so, anyway, very proud of what he's been accomplishing since he's come back when Andy Dalton wasn't able to play. The Chargers going to Kansas City, and, again, I think the NFL should come up with a MVP when the game is on the line MVP created solely for Patrick Mahomes, because if there's any amount of time left on the clock and he's got possession of the ball, your game's over. And I don't care what happens, he's going to find a way, like he did last night, to get the ball in field goal range. Nobody saw the doink coming off the left crossbar or left upright, but it did. And once again, the Chiefs won a game in, crazy fashion. But you can't deny that their record of 12-1, it's no fluke. I mean, they are in that spot because they are a great football team.